Good morning, traders. All right, this is Perry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. It is 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, November 25th. Right, shortened week. We got today and tomorrow is the last full trading days of the week. Right, Thursdays, not a trading day for the stock market. Futures will be open half day or whatever, or three-quarters of a day, depending on how you want to look at it. And then Friday is a half day for the stock market as well, with a three-quarter day for the futures. So looking back at before we get into that, let's just double check the news flow for the day. Um, we had core PPI come out. It actually didn't come out bad, and we have uh, HPI and composite home pricing index coming out right now as I'm speaking. Uh, but the inflation read wasn't too bad, right? It come in either a little bit better or in line. It looks like the S&P K Schiller is coming in line, and with the HPMI month over month, uh, actually, I guess if you're a depends on if you're a buyer or a seller of houses, right? A little bit worse than expected, uh, but good for the inflation rate. So let's get into technical analysis. Yesterday, overnight, nice little distribution that we had. Uh, Coming into the bell white, right, we retrace a little bit more in the ES than we did in the NASDAQ, and then just straight up. So the title of my video is Who Won the Battle of Poor Structure? And you can see when you've got, these nodes with low volume, high volume, low volume, and just spikiness, right? That's poor structure. Uh, that's what we refer to it. If you look at the keep me out of trouble fibs, right? It was just a an aggressive bid up all day long, very high and tight. It was what I refer to as a Superman up, right? It was staying between the +1 and the +2 standard deviations on the VWAP for the most part, but you can see it losing momentum basically at lunchtime and thereafter, really not doing a whole lot into the close. And you can see S&P come up and hit 670, which was the call wall for the week. It just kind of held it there. But we, in the overnight, we traded down at 660. So there was a 100 point, $10 for the SPY, or 100 points for the ES that traded yesterday. Looking at the Qs, right? We cross back over the put wall, which should be support, and we'll see if it is, and just kind of floated around this 605 yesterday. But you can see uh, that we repaired some of this poor structure that we had, this bottom red box and both of these indexes that were above Friday's highs, right? That was all traded. We got into the second box, the box above that as well. Um, Looking at overnight, just high and tight, basically up here still. And if you look, we're right at the top of this high volume node. Uh, you can see it, and I had mentioned that we could just get some fill in between these nodes. So the bottom of the next node above is at 67.55, let's call it. So that'd be about 40 points up or so that we could still get from where we are right now. And then if we're going to hold in here, we really shouldn't start trading below 66.96 half and really have any progress. And you can see that we're basically at the top of the downtrend channel on the daily sessions for both of these indexes. So we'll have to see if that holds as well, and then we just rotate down, which would mean that here in the next 4 or 5 sessions we'll make another lower low as we come out. So that'll be interesting, which means we'll take out not only that October 10th low one more time, but we'll be taking out this structure and getting in. If we do make a lower low, I'd expect it not to stop until you get to at least 23,650. on the indexes. I don't think that's in the cards for today, but we'll see. It's not unusual for us to, after having a poor structure day up, to have a poor structure day down the following day. We'll see. So we got some clear markers in the sand. So uh, the auction that we're really going to look at is, can we stay above 24,000 seven, let's just call it 750. And you can see that at 728, that was the expected market maker low into the range for today. That's still in the middle of value. So I can see us, if we do get a test uh, below there, and if with the rising VIX, that we could get a test all the way down to value area low, which I think would be a buy today unless things get out of hand. I think you got a great risk to reward down there. So 24,685, and then you got the split in the auction at 662 basically, and then 644 is value area low. And then for the ES, you're looking at right at 66.88 with value area low, and the toss one day expected move uh, right down there at 66.75 basically. And then right around 66.71 is another split in the auction. You really shouldn't get below these lines and make any progress whatsoever uh, without a rising VIX, right? That's really the bottom of that poor structure that we're in. There is just a void below there. If you start trading below there, it could just be an aggressive sell, uh, which I don't think is in the cards. First, I'm gonna put the cart before the horses, right? We got to see if we can even get through this poor structure and down to these expected low moves of the day, right? The expected high move of the day, or the top of the range, is just a little bit above the that next poor structure block for both the ES and the NASDAQ. So meaning that the market makers did not think that we'd be able to think about it as another auction above these boxes, that they didn't think that we'd be able to get into that auction and find acceptance and go higher. They thought it would be rejection if we got there for sure. Um, so as we kind of look at positioning, there's not a lot to look at. We closed on the cash market yesterday at 67.05. Futures are down 8 right now, so we'd be just under 6,700 on the cash market right now. So that would be down here. So 6,700 obviously is going to be a flip. So 6,700 to 6710 on the cash market. Then we'll see if we can get to 25 to 30. If not, you'll probably get a retest of 6670. I would be shocked if we could make any progress below that. That would be about another 25 ES handles down below where we are right now. Looking at the SPY, which is a little bit easier of a read, we're currently trading uh, 668 quarter after closing at 668.75. So we'd be right in here today. And the entire overnight move basically has been between like the 667 to 670. We've been, basically in this 30 points for the majority of the trading. And we'll have to see. You can see that that's the top end of the agreement there for the bears and the bulls. And then you get more bullish above there. And you can get down to 663. I think there's your floor, right? So you're go nowhere, do nothing, just kind of a range bound day. I think it's going to be between 663 and 670 for the S&P or for the SPY. And then looking at the Qs real quick, uh, we got close at 605. We're currently trading 603.50 right now. Um, so we're, right in here. You can see we could easily get a test back down to 600 and then 597. I think 597 would be a good risk to reward. Try if we get down there. And then you have to see if you get down, you could get knocked down to 595, but 597 would probably be your floor, and that's if we can make any progress below 599. That's kind of the end. So you got one of the lumps, and I drew this on the chart for us. the blobs, 599 to 601, and then you got really 603 to 606, and then that's the agreement. So the major agreement is going to be between 599 and 606, with I think a hard stop at 597. I don't know if you could get down to 595 today. So, you know, again, looking at the overnight action, uh, most of the actions been between 603 and 606 for the Qs. Most of the actions between 667 and 670 for the SPY. I think you can watch that and consider that like overnight value, right? It's either going to break or hold. So we've got what we could be overhead supply here. So maybe we flush all of those traders who come in late during the bell session yesterday and overnight, right? But I think one thing you got to be aware of is if you get a false break of this and you get back up above 667, especially 667 half, you're probably going to get 15 to 25 points fairly with bid without much of a retracement. I don't know if it'll be a slow bid or a quick bid, but you're probably not going to get much of a retracement once you do there. And if you get a quick V top, let's call it inverted V, right? Then we'll have to see on the second test. So suppose we break 667, we come back up to the middle, and then we get rejected. There's going to be more stops. So I think the second time down below 667 should be a bigger flush. The second, the third, whatever, you know, each time you come down here and test that floor, you should get a bigger flush. And maybe we can get down to that 664, basically the one day expected move. And then I would assume, you know, this 599 to 600 is going to be the floor on a flush for the Qs today, which will put that floor in for the NQ, which would put it basically somewhere around 24,717 to 715 today, and then minus 40, which would get you right around 670 to 674, right in that area for the 99. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what Jack's looking at next. But just to go back to the title of the video, right? The poor structure that we're trapped between is this poor structure that goes between all the way down to 770, and then the top of it, uh, the range goes up to right around 25,000, and then you got 25,168. So you got, below 24,770, and you got above 25,168. And to be honest with you, those will probably be like, close to what Jack puts in for his premium and discount levels. In other words, those will probably be, look for changes, look for structure changes. Those will probably be swings. I think it's going to be hard to get it put in a trending day today, but I could be wrong. There's not any real catalyst that I see for it, so I would expect us to just kind of consolidate in a frustrating way in this range. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll